Hey, it's Daryl from Anglers All. We're down in the Fly Tire studio today. We're going to be tying up the Rainbow Warrior Perdigon, but with a small twist. I'm not going to tell you. You're going to have to come check it out. Let's go tie one up. Just a few materials on this here. There's going to be a CDL for the tail, a little bit of flash for the body, and some UTC in 70 denier for our hot spot and underbody. So we're going to go ahead and start our thread just behind our bead. I'm gonna go ahead and do some jam wraps behind my slotted bead to kind of help it stay where it wants to stay. There we go. All right, we're gonna go back just shy of that hook bend. If we start going down the hook bend, our tail will drag, and that is not the desired profile that we're looking for. Tail, a little CDL action here. Just moves great in the water, looks great in the water. I will openly admit I probably use a little more than everyone else does when it comes to CDL. It's such a good looking feather that if you really go sparse with it, you can't really see it as well. So I don't overdo it, but I go enough to where it just stands out a little more. Maybe it comes down to maybe 2 or 3 extra barbels, but not a ton. I like to trim before the collar of this fly because we're going to build up a hot spot there. We don't want to exponentially build things up throughout the fly, so we'll stop just shy and tie in our next material, which will be a Holo flash, little tinsel in black. This is the large. I am on a 16 here. It's totally going to handle that. I would drop to the medium if I dropped in size for 18s and 20s. We're going to capture that just behind our bead. We're going to go all the way down just shy of the tail on this here for our wrap. One thing we want to pay attention to is our silhouette here. We're really kind of paying attention to taper. And dealer's choice here, if you really want the reversed carrot, you can go ahead and taper that up. If you want to keep a nice stick-like body, you could do that as well. There are definitely different ways to approach that body style on the Perdigon side of things, which I think is kind of cool. We're going to spiral this up. I can actually do a really wide spiral wrap and only have to go around like 2.5 times because this is the large. I'm going to do a wrap on either side of that, trim it out, and we're going to whip and be done with our materials that quickly and that easily. If the flash wants to hang out for a while, you let it hang out. Charge it a cover a little later, make some money. So I'm gonna go ahead and bang out a hot spot while I'm tying in my whip finish, or performing the whip finish, and we kind of do a 2 birds, 1 stone. Notice when I'm finishing, my thread's on the inside of that collar. If you want your thread to be away from that and get a really good clean trim, it's not gonna move as much on a whip, so move it the first ahead of time. So just go ahead and do some even wraps up behind your bead and then go ahead and whip. And then even if you finish out on the outside of that collar because your thread started on the inside, it'll finish there. All right, so we've got a nice clean svelte looking Rainbow Warrior Perdigon in black, and we're gonna go ahead and add one more little touch to it, and we're gonna do some bone dry Solares just to kind of coat it, give it a little durability and some shimmer. So there's a little too much on there. Just go ahead and wipe off your UV brush a lot and then come in and you can take some of that up. All right. So we got a reverse carrot taper all the way up to our bead. Thing's gonna drop like a pellet, hence Perdigon. There we go. This is going to be your Rainbow Warrior Perdigon in black. Come on in and get the materials. There's only a few of them. We'll walk you through it. Let's go tie them up.